right, three, two, one. Welcome back to Majestix Podcast. My name is Chase. I am your host. Along with me today, as usual, I got my partner in crime here, Pat.
What's up?
All right. And we have the recent Fresno winner for the Majestix Open Series, Stephen DiCarlo.
How's it going?
Dude, so how's it feel to be out of Heroclix mediocrity?
Oh, thanks, Pat.
Let's be clear about something here. This boy next door kind of thing, this frail woman of a look here. This guy's a savage. That's some balls. Talks a lot of shit. So let's pull the curtain back real quick. So, but no, it's we have a lot of fun. I mean, he always gives me a lot of shit, especially because their buddy won with 10 points over. So it always gives me a lot of crap about that. But then I always say, well, that's your teammate. So what's that thing for you guys? But no.
I'm actually on build, so Pat won't get shown in this one.
Yeah.
A friend of ours definitely won in one of Pat's event, a few points over, and we got the plaque in the living room. It looks nice.
You know what he wrote on there, and this is what I think everybody just missed. He wrote Kyle Rayner 170.
Right.
So when everybody's adding it, they're like, oh yeah, it adds up. And then so as I'm writing the list, I know that Kyle was 180, so I write 180. And then, like, Aaron's like, hey, that's 10 points over. Is that right? I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, wait, we all added it right. He's like, yeah, we all added it. He's like, I played him. It was fine. And then we're like, I looked at the sheet, and I'm like, oh, he wrote 170. That's probably why we all got messed up. But
don't worry, my build was right. We're okay.
But, I mean, in all seriousness, man, congrats, finally.
Thank you.
Now you can
That was my fourth attempt at the Quinjet.
Well, shit. You improved it every time, and now you can tell Tony that he can't talk shit anymore, right? Because you actually won one now. Because Tony would always like kind of hold that over him, like, "Hey man, you haven't won, so stop talking."
Yes. So my thing was like I'm good at modern, and then he's good at like the rock age shit. But now I finally got the rock age covered too. So I'm doing good.
Didn't you win a bigger event?
No, so I my first Rock Cup, I got the top 16, and then I just got back from the WizKids National where I placed 5th.
No, this is his first win. Come on, let's.
Yeah, it's not. Oh no, it's not. No.
Oh, what? Comic Cult Championship.
I won a WizKids Open. I got good showings in like the big national.
Wait, WizKids Open? Which one?
The one last year. It was the one in.
Oh, the one I wasn't there. Okay. I just want to check.
Hey, Pat, the Vegas tournament fun. Were we there? Did you?
Why would that matter? I've been lost to you guys. You haven't won a tournament where I've been in, so how's that?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll ease up on that. You know, I love you, Steve. You know, even though I give you a lot of shit, you're always good. You're always good to me, and you always push our events. You and Tony both. So, I always appreciate that. So, all kidding aside, this is just, it's just, we need to give the people a little peek into the real Steve. What he presents is this really, really nice, humble dude. But oh man, when no one's looking, cameras are off, the shit talking comes out. Jesus,
I'm in my image.
It's like it's creeping over to Heroclixer. I'm like, you too? Jesus Christ! They ride with him a couple times, and now Eric's just like all of a sudden. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Where'd this come from?
Yeah. We're behind the camera. We're a little more intense, but in person we try to act like the nice guys. You got to have like a villain in Heroclix. We want to be that role.
Oh well, then you need to be. If you want to be the villain, then you got to be more. You got to be more like Paris.
Yeah, true.
And just shit on everyone. The reason why, look,
against the Gutierrez brothers.
What's that?
I'm undefeated against the Gutierrezes. Those are your boys.
Are you? Oh,
wow. Yeah, I lost to them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what can I say? I'm not playing. I mean, I'm not playing, so.
Tony's over here in the corner, like smirking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can't beat the king, you got to beat the jesters. That's fine. You get it. You get it. You get it.
Yeah.
But well, okay. So enough of that shit. Okay, now talk about your team.
All right. So I've been doing the Quinjet for ages, just because I'm lazy and I don't feel like I've never used a battery. I'm never going to use a battery. And so the Quinjet, I feel like it just doesn't have bad matchups, because there's never a time where I'm sitting and I'm like, oh crap, there's nothing I can do against this team. Where Mystiques, they're auto beating a bunch of teams. If they don't have Pulse Wave, they just win. And then Tony's team, if you don't have TK or if you don't win map, you just lose. Whereas my team, I can build it in a way where there's no team that I automatically lose to. And I thought that was a really good thing where I don't know, I can add TK to my team super easy.
What did you?
Boost to map roll, which was important against Tony this time, because I won map. If I lost map this time against Tony, I don't think...
Can you? Yeah, I was gonna say, can you beat him if he picks map?
So normally I have some source of TK or the Colossals that I can get across to him, but this is my first that I in the car ride up, I'm I purposely did not build against Tony this time, because I felt like I can win map against Tony and it was no big deal, and luckily I did. But in the big
+1.
So you're down to one map. You were down to one roll to kind of decide the game. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So even if he wins map, he has the 2 turns to assign 2 of the constructs, and if he I won't say which characters he should assign it to, but if he doesn't assign it to the right 2, I can hit the 3rd. And then this time, when you win map, obviously, I just move up really far the first time. He has 1 turn to assign the Indigo battery to someone, and then someone else is dead. So it depends on map, but this time I was definitely not favored if I lost the map. But normally I bring some source of TK. And the second, so I have 2 shield I have 4 shield characters, and one of them can be a TK character. That's easy enough to do, and then you just real boy them in, TK out like a green arrow or something, and I can hit. So there's stuff that I don't know. The Quinjet just doesn't have a bad matchup. It's not great. It doesn't have any matchups that are holy crap, this is such an easy win. But I'm fine with the challenge, and then it's just good going into a match knowing that I can win if I play it right.
Yeah, this is one of those teams where it's really the pilot, because people play it all the time. But if their ID setup is wrong, or their support is wrong, and they call out the wrong, just a lot of weird things that can go wrong, then it's definitely a pilot driven team. It's not the team where it's kind of sometimes, the Mystique, if you just play and they don't have Pulse Wave, you just you can auto win, just you don't have to do anything. But the Quinjet, it's not, because it is still a big target. I know you. So what was it? So you didn't actually say the team. So what was the actual team?
Sorry about that. All right, so it's the Quinjet at 140 plus the resource style, and now I have Star Fox with it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's easy to explain. Star Fox +2 to perplex, and he's got the stop click. I can push him to sidestep, so I can carry around the support characters.
And he's Avengers.
Yeah, and I can poof away the characters he calls in by sidestepping back. Eric Masterson for 15 points. You get perplex, get enhancement. There's not too much more to that. Super easy. And then Jarvis, of course, which can't get better than Jarvis. He's got perplex, stealth. He's got that defense ability where he's always going to be next to an Avenger, and he gets three ID cards. So Avengers theme team was huge because I was actually winning map. In the first 3 Majestix series I went to, I won map 3 times in 3 events. That was awesome. So this time I won map a good amount of times. I have a lot more prod, and then I have a ton more perplex. So Avengers theme team definitely helped this time. I love the Ultron drones. I think they're great. I like Atomica, and I like having the Colossals. But I don't know, just the Avengers theme team obviously helped a lot more. I finally fucking went undefeated, so it didn't matter.
Also, I've seen you multiple times in the tournament where you were using theme team, multiple theme team probs that were detrimental, where either they would miss or you would hit. But if you had Atomica, it's only 1 use of prob.
Right, exactly.
That was huge, because you're like, okay, I'm just gonna push Jarvis to theme team prob, and I'll push Eric Master into prob, and then they missed. And then that was that's a big move.
No, the props definitely came in handy this time, like a lot more than I thought. Just because like there's little things like people just going for Jarvis, and with the defend from the Quinjet, he's got 18 defense. If I use 2 theme team props on that, they might be needing a 6, and if I make them miss, that's huge. Like there's little times where they don't need the biggest rolls, but if you use a few theme team props, you're fine pushing those small support characters. That's what they're there for, and it works out. So there's definitely a bunch of times that the prop helped a lot.
And you opted 2 Wolverines, right?
Yeah. So I had the bounty and the regular. Obviously, just which one you call out. I'm mostly real boying, so it doesn't matter which ID I'm using. But like just having the option to like, there's times where you want to call in the bounty one, just so you don't have to worry about it dying. That's a big one where like I can just call him in and attack and not worry about him getting green arrowed or whatever because they can't score points off of it. There's times where I needed to call in the other Wolverine so Star Fox could heal off his stop click. So the Wolverines are great. I mean, you can't get better for 50 points, and they're so easy to real boy. So those are awesome.
That's actually what I was going to ask you. What was your ID card setup?
So the ID card setup is the 2 Wolverines, and I've got Green Arrow, and I've got the 2 Shield cards. And so the 4 characters for the Shield are Nick Fury, Hawkeye, Quasar, so I have another source of Pulse Wave, and Asgardian Hulk, so I have that the Battle Fury against Shape Change characters, and Runster Brown. And then I have Thor and Black Canary.
For more Pulse Wave, okay.
Yeah, so I have potentially up to 3 sources of Pulse Wave. Then I have like a lot of attacks from the flurries, so yeah, it's got pretty much everything I need.
How many? You said Green Arrow, right?
Green Arrow, yeah.
And then did you say with a Thor, do you just have one Thor, or do you have...
Just the one Thor, yeah.
Yeah, because he's full.
He's full, that's why, okay.
7 ID cards with the 2 extra options for the shield cards.
Which Thor are you using?
The Pulse Wave one.
Okay.
But it's the 105. There are 2 of them.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was wondering, because it's not... There's nothing it's something you have to pull in with the Quinjet, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And that's the one bummer is like with the drones gone, I can if the Quinjet's tokened out, I can't call in Thor and I can't call in Nick Fury, but it didn't end up being a problem as much as I thought it might be.
Because a lot of times you just like perplex up your defense all the way up, and then they just got to try to hit that. That's hard.
Yeah. With Jarvis and with Star Fox, the Quinjet's rocking like a 21 defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And okay, so then you played in the finals. You played the Baby Jet. So it was Alan Mason, one of the very best players in this game. He's been playing for a long. I mean, since it came out.
Oh, good. I didn't know that, so I wasn't nervous at all.
No. Alan was back in 02, from like 02 to 05. I would say he's one of top 2 or 3 players in the world, like along with Scott Crampton. Like to me, it was those 2 guys then, because those are only 2 guys that and like I guess George was kind of later on, but Scott and Alan were the 2 guys. But Alan played Baby Jet, plus a resource, and then so he basically split up the Quinjet to Nighthawk Prime and the small, right? Because it's what 5 points off from being a full. Yeah, 65 and 75. It's 140. And his builds are traditional, where it's like 2 drones. Instead of Atomic, Domino, and he has Nighthawk. And then he has Retaliators in the back, which is like, your traditional build. But he has a little bit more resiliency in that Nighthawk really stops a lot of things. Did any of the Nighthawk games hurt you? Or what do I do?
The first, the Asgardian Hulk is pretty much there for Nighthawk because he one-shots him if he's in the right spot where, I can either perplex up damage, run up to Nighthawk and kill him that way, or I'm knocking him back into a wall or whatever. But the Battle Fury goes right through the shape change, and when I played I played against Mr. Calixto, which was the Unimind and Nighthawk.
Yeah.
There, I tried with the Asgardian Hulk, missed the attack, and then just later on in the game, I was able to call in Nick Fury, Real Boy Wolverine, take away the defense, and just kill him that way. So if it's like a tent pole with Nighthawk, it's pretty easy to like get to Nighthawk. But when it's something like that, like I was trying to figure out what I would do in that Baby Jet matchup, and I just decided not to bother going for Nighthawk just because I'd have to like extend myself too far to try to get him.
Yeah.
So it stinks because Nighthawk like totally messes up my team because my whole team's built on all flexes. But I just realized that I don't really need Perplex to kill the drones, to kill the Colossals, and to kill Domino. So I just left Nighthawk alone, and I think that was the key, is just slowly whittling him down and taking out the figures I could. Where we just like from the beginning of the game we switched places. I went to his side of the field.
That was funny.
Yeah, he went to mine, and I asked him, I'm like, "What do you think I'm doing?" He's like, "I know what you're doing." I'm like, "Okay, what am I doing?" He's like, "Oh, you're trying to get your Wolverines to flurry." But I was actually just trying to get to his side so I could get to his Colossals, because no matter what he did, there's nothing on that map he could do to protect them. So he actually killed Boyd and Adam in right before I was going to do my Hawkeye attack. So there's three Colossals I can go for like right off the bat. The issue in that game was I was greedy and I went for Domino with Hawkeye. And so she's got the super senses, I have the precision strike, and he rolled the 6, so I couldn't poof my Hawkeye away.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't. There's no reason I should have like even gone for that attack. I didn't need to do it.
Right. Yeah. And then so like one of the obviously the breakout teams from the last event was that Goblin King with the Sinestro, and that was also in the top 8 in this one. But you were the only one to beat it, I think, right?
Tony beat it by roll-off in the.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
But yeah, I
like legit, you right? You like legitly beat him.
So I had gotten knocked out by a full point group the last time with shape change, so I was like really dreading another unoutwittable shape change game, especially because I go and I call out my green arrow.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Do you still blame Emilio for causing you?
I'm thrilled about the two of them leaning over and saying, "Hey, I can't say I'm happy about it." But at the same time, like, damn, that kid rolled so many shape changes. Fine. So yeah, just like so right off the bat in that yellow battery Goblin King game, throws the shape change on the green arrow attack, and I was like, here we go.
How'd you hit him with all that defense?
So what I ended up doing was I just burned ID cards until I could call in Nick Fury and redeploy as Guardian Hulk. So I was he chose super senses every single turn, so I was able to take away super senses. And then as Guardian Hulk, I did all the perplexes to attack and got to hit him for 5, so he takes 3. And then Nick Fury from there can do a penetrating attack, and I used all my prowess for that. So I got him like 7 clicks in right there. And so he got nervous and he tried regenning, but then Hulk pushed himself to he was a real boy, so he attacks again, knocked right back to where he was, and then called out Thor or something to kill him. So that one was not too bad because I knew this time to make sure to real boy in that Hulk, so I could bypass shape change because I'm not dealing with that again.
Did he attack you at all? Like I noticed he doesn't attack with him ever.
Yeah, he tried attacking. He went for Jarvis first because he saw that Star Fox had a stop click, and I told him how many clicks the Quinjet had because he was new. I didn't want to. Yeah. So he went for Jarvis, but Jarvis is only taking the one at a time. Because who do you even really go for there? Because if you attack the jet, you're not killing it, but you're just increasing the dial. And Star Fox, that's not doing anything either.
Isn't Masterson the just do that, get the points and run?
He pilots.
Any game that the opponent doesn't have a Green Arrow ID card, Eric Masterson's piloting. And if they have a Green Arrow ID card, since they can one-shot Star Fox pilots.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's funny? We were talking about this on the way back. We're like, you played a full 80 points under against Allen. It was basically you threw Star Fox away and be like, I don't need him to beat you because Star Fox is there to, because he has Green Arrow, right? But also you take Perplex and you perplex, but he has Nighthawk, right. So he can't even use Perplex. So it's as if, and he doesn't attack with the jet, so you're not using anything from the pilot. Yeah. Star Fox might have been off the map completely.
Yeah, exactly.
And he still won, and that's why I was like, because I was looking, I was like, man, this is interesting. I was like, okay, man, I'm like, man, you got nothing. You know, there's a Eric Masterson just chilling there, and then there's a Jarvis, and then the Jet, and I'm like, how come it looks so one-sided? And then I look over. Oh yeah, that's right, because Star Fox is in the Jet.
Yeah.
Because you're protecting him, but he couldn't do anything. Like he attacked the Quinjet once, and I thought he was gonna go all in, and he didn't. And I asked him what he was thinking, and I don't know. I think he couldn't. I don't know. Oh, that's what it was. Do you remember when he put he real Boyd and Green Arrow, put him in the hindering?
Right.
So he couldn't sidestep to shoot the Jet.
I was just waiting. Like I hate doing gotchas, but when I saw that he brought in the Green Arrow there, and he would need to reposition, I was like, oh, here we go. He doesn't realize he can't.
Yeah, he did. Like later on the turn, he goes, yeah. He's like, why do you think I didn't attack with him?
Yeah.
Because I know that I can't sidestep. He didn't even try to sidestep.
Yeah.
But like, had he taken that, you would have been, the Jet would have been like 13 clicks down.
Yeah.
Because it took 6 and you push 7 and hits you for another 6. That's 13. Right. But because he didn't get that shot off, it like put him way back. And he's like, well, crap. Now I just got to go try to kill these other guys.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's no points to get on that team.
Yeah. So that's when Star Fox is in the Jet. There's so little, like, he can get the 15 points off Eric, and he can, like, if he really wants to waste Nick Fury or Green Arrow Jarvis, he can do that. But that's trading 5 for 40, and that's your best 5 pretty much. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, Jarvis has done his job. As soon as someone uses a Green Arrow to kill Jarvis, I'm fine with that.
It's really funny. Yeah, it was cool though to see Quinjet back, because obviously in this format it's just it's like a lot of tent poles and I guess gimmicky kind of stuff. It's mostly tent poles that I've seen. But it was nice to see. It was like, oh, good, you know, like, hey, guys, the Quinjet's still around, you know, because there's also more ID card options. And if you go Avengers theme, God, they have a full set that just came out, right?
Yep.
Just Avengers.
Well, it's the Swiss Army knife of the thing, just like Steve was saying. Like, it's always going to have your options. I love the Quinjet. I just don't. I've never used it before. I mean, I love when I see the teams because I'm like, oh, they have an answer for just about everything.
Yeah. Are you going to play the same? Or you're just going to tweak it, obviously, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to...
I'm going to have 9 pulse waivers.
What's up? 9
pulse waivers on the team.
No, the only thing I'd really like the second shield card is not a necessity. Just because, like, as nice it is to have, like, access to the... Like, I can easily just do 1 extra with the shield card and then do, like, a Jean Grey or something like that for the other... Like, yeah, it's not the second shield card is the 5 points. That's not huge. Like, every other card is pretty essential in every game. But, like, what is Hawkeye doing in a Mystique game? What is Hawkeye doing against, like, a tentpole? It's not a necessity. So I'd probably swap that out for, like, a TK or something like that.
That's true. Yeah, and like you're saying, if you play Jean Grey, she can help you, like, TK all the way, you know, all your guys up on the roof against Tony.
the Chase Jean Grey, like the fast force of Jean Grey with the free TK is awesome too. Like that's probably even better in the game against Tony if I lose math, is just having 2 TKs. So
yeah,
the Chase is only a TK of 3 or whatever. Like the fast force one is easier to call out too. 50 points. Yeah,
that's true, and she could be real quick.
I know you guys said, you're talking about the perplex. Do you use the perplex on your characters at all to perplex down their defense? I didn't get to see the match yet. That's why
you can't do that with Star.
Well, no, I mean you can with the other pieces. Or is Jarvis
is regular perplex.
Jarvis can perplex, and then the Eric, when he's piloting the Quinjet, can perplex down. But I'm pretty much only using the Quinjet's like the Eric pilot ability for the Quinjet when it's not on the first 2 clicks, because most of the time it's better to have the defend and give a friendly character at wit. Yeah. So I use a pilot ability then. But yeah, I never really perplex down so much as because I'm normally calling in people behind the Jet, like Nick Fury sees their characters, Green Arrow sees their characters. So I want to pull out like behind the Jet so they can't prob me. So I'm not perplexing down too much.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, there's going to be the you know the format, right, for the finals? You
I I saw that there's like two different like tournaments to it or something, right?
No, okay. So the main event, which is the Invitational, where there's only 10 of you guys.
Right.
It's 12 rounds, and then cut to top 4 on Sunday morning.
Okay.
So how we're gonna split it up is what I want to do is Friday night at about 7:00 we do the draft, and then it's 300 points. We do 3 rounds, and then so you guys will be done by like 10:30, and then Saturday morning you're gonna be playing 300 Rock Age, and then there's gonna be 3 rounds of that, a little bit of break, and then there's gonna be 300 Sealed, a little bit of break, and then 300 Modern. So that should take those 9 rounds should take us until like 5 or 6 o'clock, and then maybe even 7, depending on how long the breaks are. And then Sunday morning, it's top 4, and it's going to be Rock Age.
Nice. Okay.
Rock Age. So that's the plan. And then the side event, which is going to be Saturday, we're just running concurrently, is a 3v3. 3v3 sealed, just like how you do at Worlds.
Right. Nice.
So that's the hope. It's just I don't know how many people are going to show up, because this is still in December, so I don't know.
Do you have a date for that? Like December what?
Right now, it's going to be, I think the 9th or the 16th or something like that. Let me see. It's whatever that. It's like I want to say the second week of December.
Okay. Cool.
Currently, yeah. Unless anything happens, like it's going to be the. Right now, I have it tentatively for the. Is this right? Hold on. December 8th, 7, 8, 9. But it could get moved to 14, 15, 16. It just depends like how I can lock down the space.
Okay, cool.
Because if there's like, obviously you've been here, if there's like a Magic something, then you have to move it. But I don't think there is at that time. And I think Worlds is on the 1st, right? I'm pretty sure.
According to that.
Yeah. So, but you're queued for Worlds too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was top 32?
It was like 40 or something, and that got 5th.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What did they still do the top? Like for every 4 people one get in, or is it for every 8 people one get in?
I have no idea what the number was. I just know that we all, like me, Tony, and our friend Alex all made it.
Wait, Alex made it?
I made him. So he used the exact same team as me, the Triple Wolverine, Deadpool, Lila, and I spent the whole 2 days before the event telling him exactly how I play it. And that's the kind of team that it's not so much an auto win, but if you just play this your first 3 turns are always the same, where you move up the second turn, you're sidestepping up Deadpool, calling in Jubilee, killing their Colossals, and third turn retreating if you did kill Colossals. The first 3 turns are always the same, and he is not the most experienced player, and he was able to he even made it farther than Tony. He got top 30-ish.
Whoa, Tony's right there, man. Come on.
He's not right there anymore.
Oh! Wait, hold on. Alex, that dude, I love Alex. No offense to that guy, but the way that you guys always talk about him when he's here, you think this guy doesn't know how to play the game.
No, I mean, he doesn't, but he did fine.
He doesn't shoot.
Dude,
and that's funny. Wait, what did he finish? What did he finish?
What did he finish?
Yeah.
In the top 32.
Wow. Oh, so he made... Wait, what was the cut? 16 or 32?
It was 16.
Okay. Oh, wow. So he's still... Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah, he did pretty well.
Hilarious.
Yeah. He was all bragging because his record was better than PJ's.
Oh, damn.
I beat PJ. I'm undefeated against PJ. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, see? This is the Steve I'm talking about. There you go, Steve.
Dude, I just feel like there's a wall with all the people crossed out and stuff like that.
Dude, you know what's funny? It's Dan says the same thing too. It's I have a winning record against Easton. I have a winning record against Steve.
I feel like Dan was trying to make his case for number 1 or whatever.
So what you're telling me is the feature match is Steve versus PJ at the Invitational, round 1.
No, PJ's legit my favorite player, and that's the weirdest thing. It's I respect PJ so much for always doing with the exception of the Mr. Steph with the box thing. PJ always does like really innovative builds that like you're not expecting, and so I really respect that. And I was bummed that like PJ showed up to WizKids Nationals with that Mistress Death team because X-Men Swarm destroys Mistress Death. Like it just keeps killing, and gets so much points, and then it can just retreat, and Mistress Death isn't fast enough to like kill virtually. All you have to do is kill it twice, and you have to kill every member of the X-Men team, which is hard as heck. So
yeah, you don't have enough time to do it.
Yeah. But I respect PJ like that. But yeah,
come on, man, don't sugarcoat it.
Brag about being 2-0 against him.
Yeah, there. I like that.
And they're both nationals for real things.
You beat him at nationals?
Yeah, he didn't know that. Like I was the one that knocked him out 2 Rock Cups ago. He had no idea, and so Tony like brought it up at WizKids Nationals. Like, hey, you know that guy who knocked out your Ultron drone swarm team? That was Steve. He's like, no, it wasn't, and yeah, it was. So I was like, realized that was me, and half like glad that he doesn't have like a vendetta against me.
No. Well, I mean, obviously PJ didn't remember, so it's like it doesn't matter. You know, he doesn't care. Yeah. But that's hilarious. I like that though. That's funny.
Posters were the highlight match of that tournament.
The what?
I said you got to make posters of like Steve versus PJ. We're the highlight match of the Majestix.
We'll do a face-off.
There we go.
But I'm gonna tell Jim to make like a custom face-off, or I just need like a site, like a profile pic of each of you guys.
Yeah,
like
old wrestling.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's funny, man. I like that.
I'm trying to think how I can add that to the stream.
I did not know that. I did not know. It's I guess like people now that like they take the feather in the cap when they get, because like Dan does the same thing, and also Micah says the same thing about Paris. And he's undefeated against Paris. Yeah. And what's his name? Oh, and it's funny. Dustin Cedars is he's the apex killer because he's beaten all of them.
Oh, nice.
like at nationals, like I think he beat all of them. I think everyone that went.
That's awesome. I
think so. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, but it's pretty funny. I think that's cool. Need more of that. So, are you gonna come to the U.S. Cup?
Yeah. I'm doing that. Probably doing Blackbird.
You're not gonna do the Deadpool? No.
So I was not hype on the Blackbird until I realized that how to play the first 2 turns. Because I feel like that's so much that's the majority of team when you're team building is just figuring out what you're doing to start. And once I figured out how the Blackbird runs from the get, I fully understand it now. And I don't know, it's so overpowered. The Deadpool has more mobility just because Face Pool can move at wherever to call people out. But the Blackbird, if you're doing it right, you're real boying in someone decent in turn 1 or 2. And Blackbird's usually going to die turn 3, but it's at that point you're trading the 55-point Blackbird where now you have a real boy Cyclops or Wolverine, and you're only down 5 points there, the trade-off. But then you're also you have a super powered up Cyclops from the bird dying coming out, so the trade-off's worth it. I don't know, Blackbird's really good.
Yeah, it is. This is the kind of one of the things about Modern, even though it's good, it's diverse and there's a lot of options, still feel like there's only 3 legit types of teams, and X-Men, whether it's Blackbird or not. I think that's one for sure, and then some cosmic iteration, whether it's Unimind, Lockjaw, Star Fox, Lockjaw, anything like that. And then the last one would be I feel like it would be Shredders or Sam Cap Shredders, kind of like Isaac's team, things like that. I think those are the 3 main archetypes, and within the lines of the margins, you have little things I don't know. There's a Master Order Chaos thing, Living Tribunal. There's all these different weird types of iterations, but they're all going to fall under those kinds of that kind of list.
I think those ones are just because mind control is so good against X-Men, where you're mind controlling them to hit each other, and then they don't get their headmaster trait. Starro triple target mind control is really good.
Oh, that's another one. Starro is going to be. Yeah. I mean, I still really don't know what and I know, Pedro wrote about it. I'm like, well, I need to see exactly what it does.
But U.S. Cup are going to have Star Up, like just
no. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What's cool about Majestix is you guys have your own meta. Where like I went into states thinking that like, okay, I'm going to see 50 X-Men teams at least. Like you asked how many Wolverines were going to be at the event, and I said something like 51, and it ended up being like 9. So
no, it was like 13 or something like that. Yeah, the guy that
way less.
The guy that won our little raffle, the little contest, he guessed the least amount and he won.
Yeah, like cause, I mean, I showed up with 4 just on my team.
Yeah,
and it'd be 5 now that the bounty card's out. So like,
I
don't know. I was way off. Like I was expecting a lot more of that, and then you have like Emilio's Colossals with the Green Lantern build and stuff like that. Like I don't know. It's hard to prepare for Majestix just because it's not even just people trying to be like creative, but it's also people not having access to some of the crazy stuff. So they have to be creative with what they own, which is cool.
But also, I don't know how many of them actually follow what's being played across the country.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean, like they're like, who cares? We're not playing any of those guys. Why should I worry about that? You know what I mean? So if you see, let's say you watched maybe 2 or 3 weeks worth of Modern from New York to Alabama to Atlanta or whatever, and it's like that far, and then you see that's the metagame. Well, the only way that would translate here is if like the majority of those players came to play here,
right?
Because the people here either not going to hear about it, or they're just going to think that other things are good. You know what I mean? So you might bring something that's good for the general, but then if there's like a metagame here where it's like a different type and your team is just like maybe not as good against it, then you picked wrong.
Right.
But obviously the cream will rise to the top. So that's kind of like how you find out what's really good is you go to you look at all the states lists, and if you take all the different metagames and you see what the top winning teams are, then that's how you come to the conclusion of those 3 archetypes, Yeah. So obviously X-Men, but yeah, like you said though, not many people are just gonna have like 4 or 5 Wolverines.
Right.
They might have 1 or 2, maybe 3 if they can get it from their friends, but you're like, okay, well, you're still short. You still need like another 1 or 2. You're like, oh crap. Or Cyclops, right? Probably need 2 or 3 Cyclops, and you just
that's the thing that you actually need 3 of those now. Like just with the 2 IDs, and then you need 1 to pilot the jet, like or the bird. It's crazy how many just for that like the standard Blackbird team. It's 4 Wolverines and 3 Cyclops. That's a lot of money. Yeah.
It's not even counting just getting the ID cards for those, the faculty ones, and then just the Blackbird itself. It's like $70-$80 or something like that, right?
I mean, I've won like 6 Blackbirds, so whatever.
Hey, it's only. I mean, look, it's only because he went. Well, you did. I mean, do you see all? Oh yeah, hold on. Do you see all that back there, Steve? You see all that? I'm gonna add 2 more because it's unbalanced.
Did they say like? I think one says like what, like 1995 on there. Hard to make out from here.
One says 2018, sir. The other one say 2017. Hey, have you seen my 3 figures? Just checking.
Oh, I have.
Okay, just checking.
I sold one today.
Just checking.
I sold the Beta Ray Bill. I was distraught.
You what?
I sold our Beta Ray Bill today. I was very distraught about it.
How much did you get?
Yeah, you don't need to know about that.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, it's I guess it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of money. I can tell you how the process of this design works, because you'll probably never experience that. Sorry.
I'll find out.
You can write about it.
That's cool. I'll find out with you.
Oh man, it's fun because eventually I just keep going to where Steve goes, "Leave me alone, Pat." It's funny. It's funny when you do that because you're like, whatever, man, leave me alone. It's fucking funny, dude. I love when you guys come by, man. It's just too bad you guys don't come by very often. Are you guys gonna
try? You're far away. Leave us alone.
Okay, you guys won a lot of money at the game show. Aren't you guys gonna buy a car?
Are we gonna buy a car? Potentially. That's the plan. Tony is asking if you have something tomorrow happening.
Yeah, you have something going on tomorrow?
Yeah, we have it's the month 2 of Days Future Pass.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
What's the bill?
It's the Rock Age. So you can both play your teams.
Oh shit! There we go.
We'll be there tomorrow then.
All right, yeah, we'll maybe show.
There you go.
There you go. Be happy. We're coming.
Do you guys know who Richard Medina is?
I've heard.
Yes. He's the guy who ran the Lex Luthor team, and he has like a little list.
Okay, yeah, we know.
Yeah, he moved down to LA, and he was here today, but he's gonna start coming.
Okay,
so
cool. Nice.
So you're gonna. That's so funny. How did I know Tony was gonna say something like that?
Yeah, that's Tony. See, we're good.
Oh man.
People at Comic Con are actually starting to bring real stuff, so that's good. Like this week, I showed up with a team of all uncommon like Venoms and stuff like that, and I actually got whooped because people showed up with like Dormammu with like the roll D20, the Doctor Strange, and the LED to pump everyone's defense up to a 20, and it was all Mystics. So I was like, okay, we're actually trying here now. Here we go.
But doesn't his name's Daryl, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he not like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but it's happening, I guess. I don't know. He normally doesn't like people playing like competitive stuff, but it's slowly happening. We've been there for 2 years now, and like if we bring something like I brought like one, I'll have to bring like the Netflix like characters like Iron Fist and Cage, and even that will be like 2 OP. And Tony showed up with a team of all cops once. Like 10, 20-point cops, and that was 2 OP. So, but like now we're actually started. Like we like both lost games this weekend. We're like, what is this? So
who was it? Did you lose to Drew or something?
I lost to Drew. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty good. So, but how many you guys get over there?
We're starting to get more because they're starting to put the events on the win. So we have like normally it's only like 3 or 4, but now it's starting to be like 8 or 9, which is nice.
Isn't that just like a standard thing to do?
Yeah, but they don't want people to go there.
Yeah, it's much like
don't come play Heroclix here. Is that what the sign says?
Yeah.
Well, I know because Dave was looking up places to go play, and that popped up, and he called, and basically the guy was just basically giving him a hard time, and Dave was just like, if you don't want me to go, just fucking tell me don't play. Like, well, why are we gonna go through all this if you just don't want me to go? Like, okay, fine. So Dave didn't go, but the guy made it really, really hard and confusing for Dave for the build.
Yeah.
So then Dave's like, all right, well then I'm not gonna go, and mission accomplished for him.
Yeah, they very much have their like group of people, and like that's it. But like they're starting to expand beyond that because it's kind of the point where like we want to actually play when we go there to play. So they're starting to fix things. But yeah, we always go there when we have a car, but we never have a car. So
what about Margo? Doesn't he drive you guys around?
Yeah, as fun as it is to play Heroclix with him. We have to make him a team, and then like if he doesn't do well with the team, he blames us for not making the right team.
Oh man, who needs enemies when you got friends like this, right?
Exactly.
Damn. You guys know this is recorded, right?
Yeah. Dude, this is great.
Yeah.
This is what we need, man. This is the real Stevie D.
Yeah, that's right. Leave me alone, Pat.
Hey, does Glenn go there still?
He does. Yeah. You know everything. People. 20 years later.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that guy kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I'm not talking shit on my friends, Pat.
Those guys. Does Dennis still go?
I'm not gonna say anything more. Cult number 1, Team Comical.
Don't talk about Comical. Rule number 1. All right, fair enough.
Well, they've already talked too much. Now that other people are going to show up to play there. They're just going to be really mad.
I used to go there. Like a bunch of guys used to go there, and then the owner basically said, "You're not welcome here."
Yeah.
to Ryan. If you remember Ryan Roberts, they basically told him and Pierre, kind of like a nice way to tell him that like you guys can't play here.
Which is crazy, but
and then Noel too. That was another one. That's funny.
Whatever. We can't all be Majestix, Pat.
Hey man, we don't hate over here. Come one, come all. Play what you want, but obviously, if you're playing for like a little monthly OP kid and you're gonna come like balls to the wall, for the thing, it's like okay, it's a little much, but there's a guy here, one of the newer guys here, doesn't come by anymore because Michael Contrastano drove him away because he played Nightcrawler, the old Nightcrawler from Web of Spider-Man, in like a fun thing. I told him not to play it, and he played it anyway, and like haven't seen that guy since, the other guy since. And I was like, see, dude, don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But they were playing like a 500. It was supposed to be a fun 500-point theme team, and he comes on with like Nightcrawler, Banshee, Moira McTaggart, like the full like X-Men at the fullest power. I'm like, oh my god, that's insane. Yeah. So
Michael played that, right?
Yeah. And the other guy was new. I was like, oh, dude, no. I'm like, you can play this, but don't play Nightcrawler. Please don't play Nightcrawler. And he played it, and he just dragged the guys back over, and they just like murdered him in the box, and he put him on the Star Trek Underground map. Mm-hmm. So like, there's just walls everywhere that they can't get around. It was dumb. It was dumb. Anyway, so did either of you play against the capture team?
I didn't. How does capture work against the Quinjet? What would even go down there?
I don't even know. So I know, I was talking to him because I looked at the team and I'm like, I don't know what your team does. If you look at it, it's just a bunch of guys in just suits. It's like normal clothes, nothing like crazy. But then I read Captain Jim Gordon again, and when he captures someone, he can he gives other guys, like someone next to him, can use capture too. Right. So he chain captures them.
Yeah, it's insane. Eric, as soon as Eric lost to it, like went to me, he's like, I can't believe that happened. And I looked up every element of the team, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? It's like Clay. It's like a way different version of Clay's. If you remember seeing Clay's capture team with Hellspawn, and the Arkham Guard, but so he was telling me, because I was asking him, like, you can only capture like tiny and regular size people, and real quick, does the vehicle, is it a steering wheel? Is the steering wheel?
It's a steering wheel, but it's a regular sized vehicle.
Okay, then you capture it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Was he using the GCPD to move around?
No. He's not.
The Task Force's TK. Task Force's Gene has TK, and then he was using Mjolnir to capture from 6 squares away or whatever.
No, it's more because he has sniper gun, so it's 10.
That's ridiculous.
Then if you know what the effect of the Sapphire battery emotional spectrum is, for each person that they can see, they get +1 to their range. So he has a 13 range capture.
Right. And he can TK like back, so it's even easier to get into this. Like that's ridiculous.
Yes. So I guess that's what happened to Eric, and he probably didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But he went 3-2 with like 1,500 points because every time he captures and lets someone go, you get an additional like 50 points at least. Right. Or yeah, you get an additional 50 points. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just kill like the
big.
Who did he
lose
to? He lost to Shredders. Yeah.
Yeah, he captured someone on the Shredder team too.
Yeah, it was really cool. So he did. It was really hard because he lost the map roll. So the rock dungeon map is really hard to maneuver. But he was able to capture Peace Machine. So because he captured Peace Machine and dropped them off, Migsy got captured. He has capture now, and Migsy targeted Mini Shredder, and if he captured Mini Shredder, then and he needed a 7. I think he only needed a 7, but he had already used his prob and he already used Migsy die. But if he captures him, then he just has Shredder clone with 2 tokens.
Right.
And then that means Jim Gordon next turn can just capture that, and then that's game. It was the craziest because he missed though. Then it was like poison, breakaway sidestep, come back and hit, and then they all died.
Yeah.
But it was basically a Migsy capturing what's his name one away. Then he basically, I think he wins because one of the like the Duel of Twisted Honor, that guy died already. So Jim Gordon gets his full attack on him, and he gets that captured. It's funny. I mean, I don't think it's that great because you don't have a theme team, and he relies on open maps.
For sure.
Because like if he puts you on Flashpoint, if he puts you on like the flood map, then there's really nowhere to go. You can't really hide.
If you're not winning map, you have to spend your first turn picking up Mjolnir, and so how are you going to pick up Mjolnir and not die that next turn? Like if you have a team that has like map reach, like Windjet or whatever, like, has like a TK and then a range of like if you do Yondu, he has a super far range and doesn't need line of fire. Like protecting that Jim Gordon on your first turn is hard. So
for sure.
Like certain matchups, that's unreal. Like if you can pull that off, which it sounds like he pulled it off quite a bit. Like
he did 3 times. You know what it is too? It's the person not knowing what you're doing.
Right. Oh yeah.
Because the first question is, how does capture work?
Cards. Like I'm lazy as heck, and I would see this tiny little Jim Gordon and not like. I mean, I've never experienced capture before. I got to experience my first ever event at Majestix. Good times. Someone copycatted my baby jet.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Look at the card. He's like, by the way, that's mine now. Here's your figure. And I'm like, oh, cool. This is fun. But capture, like, I don't know what the deal is there. Like, I would have moved all the way up.
Yeah.
Just killed, and then he would have captured my jet. And I'd be like, oh, okay, this is cool. Thanks.
Yeah, dude, it's funny, man. So here's the list real quick so the people can listen. Now this is two times, 2 different players, 2 different teams that using the capture strategy has made the top 8 of the, and these aren't like small events. One was a 23-man event. This is a 25-man event. Yep. So both have made it. But the list is, and it's Craig Landers, from NorCal. He's from Heroes and Dice. He's with Alan, Jeff, and then and they all 3 of them top 8'd. So congrats to them. They're really good. They just live all the way up there. But it's Captain Jim Gordon, which when I first read it, I thought he was. I don't know anything. I just saw that it was Captain Jim Gordon. I just assumed it was the Connelly Batman Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
I thought it was that, and I go.
Points.
And then I remember looking up at him and going, he's only 99 points? He's like, yeah. But he's thinking it's that, and I'm thinking it's the other one, and we're talking 2 different things. I'm like, no way, because they don't end in 9 anymore. He's like, yeah, they do. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 0s or 5s now. And we had like 2 minutes, and then I'm like, wait. Well, I look at the set number. I'm like, wait, this isn't the right one I'm talking about. And then so I looked at the rest of the list. Mr. Migsy, Jean Grey, fast forwards to 50, 2 Betty Brants, a Blind Owl, Mjolnir, Zatanna ID card, because he wants double prob on top of the Migsy roll to make sure he gets the capture. And then he has the sapphire, the pink or the violet battery with ring, rifle, spotlight. It's funny. It's one of the funniest teams I've seen. It just sucks because I didn't get to see one of the games where he won, because I only got to see the game where he lost because he lost the map. But I think it would have been awesome to see on stream where he goes across the map and captures your guy in your starting area or whatever. That'd be hilarious. But I guess capture is I don't know. What do you think of capture? Do you think it's like a legit strategy? I don't know what other figures have it, but
why not? Yeah.
Krampus.
Yeah, that's another one. David was telling me about Krampus, but I don't know. It's definitely something that you can do in Rock Age.
I think, well, it obviously auto loses to Mystiques unless you're going to start building in
yeah,
some way. Dude, I almost wonder if there's a capture team with the Invisible Jet.
That's what... Were you the one saying? Someone was mentioning that. Was that you, maybe?
No, this is the first I've heard about this new capture team. So
the
first thing I was thinking is like, Invisible Jet, that could you could get some funny. You can get some stuff with that.
captures?
No, but the jet, you can pick a guy. It's like Sam Cap. But you can pick any guy you carried.
Oh, and it can be given a costed action after you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The only problem with that is you have to make it all the way back to your starting area and drop them off without dying.
Yeah, no, the Gene TK thing, the TK yo-yo is the best way. I think he did that great. Like, double Betty is awesome. 30 points for 2 perplexes.
Yeah.
Better. Blind Owl being there just to activate the Betties and the Nixie. I don't know if that's necessary, but it's only, 13 points. Like,
yeah.
Still, like, everything on there is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's a fun... Oh, it's funny.
Now I'm going to be up till 2 in the morning building a new capture team.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Krampus, and there's also the other option he was telling me was Death Trap.
Yeah, so the Death Trap team is so good. So Alyssa McNeil did a Death Trap team. Well, she didn't even use the Death Trap, but she had it was the Mr. Freeze that has Death Trap, but he says, like, if you're within 4, you have to use Incap.
Yeah.
And then using it with Indigo Battery, so you have to be within 4. And that was such a good team. Like,
and then she had Sloth with it as well.
She had Sloth with it, so
it's because once you get so close to him, it's Earthbound neutralized or whatever.
Yeah, it was a good team. Like, and then it has the Death Trap like potential. I don't know. I thought that was really cool. Totally that build for this one.
He was telling me that right now the Joker is really good because his Death Trap bonus is the month of the year.
What?
But it's max 8, so it's August, so he gets plus 8 to his roll. Nice. So that's the max you can get. So he's like, this is the perfect guy to play. They're never getting out.
That's funny. And I should maybe look up old figures, I guess.
Dude, I know. Well, you told me the first thing he said. I come in. What are you playing? He's like, look, I'm playing Quinjet. I'm too lazy to look up older figures. But that I was like, dude, what? Like, but that shows you how much time and effort they actually put into the research for at least Craig, because he looked up a lot of stuff. Because he told me a bunch of iterations he had in his mind. So that's cool. I mean, this format. I mean, you've played it a bunch now, Steve? What do you think of the format?
Oh, I think it's awesome. It's definitely healthier than I think Modern. I'll say that I think Modern is really healthy right now. To be honest, just because
it is.
Last year at Rock Cup, if you didn't play Unimind and Nighthawk, you were losing it.
That's it. Yeah.
Whereas this year, like, there are at least like 3 or 4 teams that are really good, and then like there's 5 or 6 that can like contend with those, depending on like who the pilot is. But the Rock Cup, like, there's so many different teams that, like, never in a million years do I come up with a capture team.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that, like, if you have a favorite figure, chances are you can, like, do a good team with that favorite figure. If you're not one of those guys and you just want to play the best thing, there's one team that is. Like, there's no... there hasn't been an established build that's like, this is the team. Like, Mystique's was definitely, like...
It would be up there.
Like, it can win just automatically, but like it's still not the only team to play, just because there are people that pack Pulse Wave, there are characters that pack. So like there's no one set team that everyone should be playing. So I think the format's really good. Yeah,
that's funny. That's what you mentioned there is what I tell a lot of people is like, you can play whatever you want. You can pick your favorite figure, build something around it, and it can probably be competitive with the right support pieces. And resources, whatever. And I think that's what a lot of people, like that, because they can play, Hulk at 250 and the Gauntlet, which is still, I mean, that's got to be the most unlikely one.
Arrow? Like, did he not play someone with the Green Arrow ID card?
He did. But at 250, this guy, Hulk has like 9 or 10 clicks.
Right.
And you need to double shot him in the same turn.
Right. Well, can't you just put it in make sure you're doing the right clicks of damage to not put him on one of those stop clicks?
Here's the problem. Who knows his dial?
I do. I've played against the Hulk 50 times.
Okay. Well, then you're the one out of like the 1,000 people that would, because every single one there was like, what the hell does this guy do?
A stop click, and then he just has 50 of the anger tokens and heals all the way back to the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't. I mean, you don't. I mean, if you don't play You don't play against that, especially. It's been how many years since A, Age of Ultron was around, B, that thing wasn't even in modern,
Right.
like in the modern metagame.
Yeah.
So, you'd have to specifically have to play in these formats where that guy was really, really good to know the dial. Other than that, you're not going to know the dial. And a lot of people are just like, I don't know. I mean, I just hit him as hard as I can.
Right.
And they hit him and they go, oh, you have a stop click? I go, oh, crap.
Yeah.
And they go, wait, what? Your tokens come off? I go, shit.
Yeah.
And then they heal, and they're like, "Oh, great! Now I'm down 5 points because I ID called in somebody, But I mean, it's definitely. I don't think it's that great, but I mean, he got him by surprise, and also he made a lot of colossal stamina rolls and a lot of super sense rolls.
Nice.
Do you think this is one of the healthiest modern metas right now since resources have been rotated?
I've never
like the batteries, at least.
So I started right when the batteries were retired.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, from then, what would you think?
For sure. Yeah, I think that right now. Well, no. My first year, I showed up with like the Merry Marvel team, and I did well. But I think the modern right now, there's at least I don't think there's ever a time where there's this many like archetypes that are solid. So I think
there was back in 2014, 2013. There was 2014.
That started right before I started.
Yeah, 2014 was when, and actually the argument could be made because of the batteries.
That's what I was saying. Like during the batteries, you had so many options.
There was it was almost a different team every round when I was playing, because they just slapped on a different type of battery, a different resource. Because at the time there was Phoenix Force, Power Plant, Utility Belt, and the batteries. Yeah. So there were some really cool. Oh my gosh!
And there's Book too.
Team bases were legal, and Book.
All
that was legal.
With team bases, I was happy about that.
Holy crap! It was.
And then you had all the entities.
But you know what? That was Oh my god! And that's what was really fun though, was that it was like kind of like Rock Age. Now you can build whatever you want.
Right.
That's why it was cool. But then the downside of that was the game got too complicated.
Yeah,
they had to errata a lot, like real quick on the watch list. They have to change the team bases. They had to change Spiral. They had to change the cars. They had to change just the entities not giving, because everybody's a theme team, because the entities gave all of their keywords.
Yeah.
So you just like they had to change it to it only gave whatever core color they were, and I'm trying to think what else, but they just put so much on there. Oh, Shatterstar too. Oh god, that was another one.
That's one thing. Like, I think there's still some issues with the rules right now, but I think this is the easiest it's been to like play. Where like there's like the teams that you're playing now, like you're understanding what everyone does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you can. It's a good starting point for like any person. Like
for sure, it is.
First year to play, it's a good way where like there's a lot of different teams that can still be good. And like the rules are clear. So there's no like super complicated characters like Faust like telling you, oh, you can't do this. Like what the heck do I do from there? Like there's no copycat taking your characters. It's a good time to play right now, just because I feel like you know what you're doing now.
The game's gotten a little bit back to what it was. I mean, some people still complain about things like the ID cards being too prevalent, but I mean that's only in the metagame really, and it's not that big of a deal. And they've streamlined those even. It's only a few characters. But it's also driven up prices on certain characters. I've never seen prices like this for like super rares and stuff like that. But that's because now you have to have those. Now that you have to have 4 Wolverines, 5 Wolverines, it changes everything.
Well, the other thing too is because there's actual circuit. Before, the prices didn't really matter before the Rock, because you only got to play in Nationals and Worlds. That's it. So there's no reason to buy anything throughout the year other than that weekend. Now, since there's events, there's WizKids Open and the Rock events, like every other weekend or every weekend now, that the price, the actual market is starting to actually be a market. Instead of just the few people that are selling Heroclix. Now there's a lot more people. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. What else you want to? I think we covered everything. Unless you want, was there anything else?
Are you competing in Worlds?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just really down on them right now.
You're scared of playing me? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm scared of playing scrubs. Yes. Because it's like getting a bye. I mean, I made a colossal mistake against Steve when I played, and the game wasn't even close. Do you remember that Jean Grey thing?
I do. I'm never going to forget the time that I taught you Heroclix.
It was so funny because I don't know if Steve's joking or not. He was serious, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. And I just continued to reroll, and he's like, no, you can't. I'm like, what are you talking about? Read the card. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, it's both ways, because I thought it was only if she attacked, but it's both.
That was my
I completely whiffed that.
That's right there with undefeated against PJ. Top.
Yeah, like that's how. So the almost part. Almost. You almost got close to winning. Not even close to winning. Almost got close because it was over in like 2 turns after that.
Yeah,
Just smashed the Miss Marvel to smithereens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did learn something from Steve one time.
Like that. It's an honor.
Oh, look at Steve. And it's so funny because like when I first met you, I never thought you were a ball buster.
A what?
I never knew you were a ball buster.
Oh, okay.
Before, because like when I first met you, you went to this at Rami's store, and like the only you and Tony didn't want to play like in the competitive. I remember you guys were just playing on the side, and then Kelby was the one that wanted to play and like
right.
get in, and I'm like, what about them? I'm like, oh no, they just want to they just want to play over there and just not worry about this stuff. But Kelby came right away and is like, I want to test this team.
Yeah. Now it's what we've become. It's horrible. Has Tony ever showed you what our collection looks like?
No, let's see it right now.
Oh my god, it's the freaking worst. We have so much stuff and this is why I didn't want to freaking play competitive.
Because now you got to get everything.
I think I can flip the camera over now, right? How do you do that? Is there a way to do that?
Oh shit!
Freaking like 30 shells over that way, and then that side we got like every Asgardian character ever made and shit like that. Like
Jesus.
It's obnoxious.
Jesus.
No wonder you don't have a car.
Yeah, and then there's more by the TV. Like Tony's all upset that I'm not showing every element of it now. But, yeah. But
holy crap, dude! That table is like.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. That's our dining room table. So.
They eat clicks too. Wow.
Yeah. So that's us. So that's why I was trying to avoid playing competitively, but that's what
cool though.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude. Oh, I see the Spectre back there too.
Yeah. Got Spectre. Got my little trophy now. Look at this. Yeah.
Oh shit, Aaron.
And then
I think
we have Flex that you got to hook us up with a new one.
Yeah, I have yours. I have yours here. Hold on. Did he not? Like did you not get like this one, right?
No, yeah, that's what I need.
What?
Like 4 of those. You might as well just give them to me now.
The what?
Just give me a bunch of them at once.
Oh, because is it because you think you're going to play PJ 10 rounds in a row? Is that why?
Yeah, that's right. Grudge match.
Oh man, this will be funny. I hope PJ listens. It'll be fun. So. But we had that's the second 25. So like it's impressive because that's the second highest that we had. Second highest.
What was the first?
I know. Damn.
Aaron, that puts you at number 2, buddy. You did try though. I'm really proud of you. A lot of people wanted to come and hang out with you, but my event still pulled the most people.
Yeah.
Say that I won the biggest one. You guys ruined it.
No, you won the second biggest.
Second.
Still second place, one way or the other.
Clay got the Clays, but the two biggest events have been won by Quinjets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, nice. Because Clay. So, man, Eric Masterson must be really good because
he's the best piece, obviously.
He's the glue that makes the team work because both teams have Jarvis and Quinjet. Staple, but Eric Masterson's the innovation.
How many times did Eric Masterson die?
One.
Yeah, exactly. You know how many times he died at, you know how many times he died in the one that Clay won? 0.
Yeah, Clay didn't even know that if you pilot the jet with Clay or with Eric,
you get perplexed. Yeah.
So that was a huge thing for me. So I feel like that would only make his team better if he can occasionally.
And Clay puts him right out in front.
He puts him in the front.
Exactly right in front of the Quinjet, runs him across, puts him right out in front. And it's just one of those things that when I looked at it, I was like, that doesn't seem right. I don't think, I think it's a trap. Like, I'm not going to fall for this.
Yeah, nobody attacked it. Not one person attacked it. And it's the tip of the sword, too. And they're just sitting there, nothing.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny, man. So, all right, well, dude, it's already like, what, almost 11?
So Pat, you'll have the standings from the top 8 from the event up tomorrow.
It should be up tomorrow night. I'm working on it. You know, it's because the last few have been top 4s, so they've been easy to write up. These are top 8. It's a lot more, and there's a lot more to write because they're 2 Quinjets. It's like with a million figure sideline.
Yeah.
So,
and Steve, you'll have yours up.
Yeah, he just submitted it. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
It'll probably go up Friday or Saturday because I have to put up Dan's report because he got it to me. So I'm going to put it up, give it maybe a day or 2, and then put Steve's up. And then hopefully what the plan is to have it all up by Friday night so that anyone thinking about this, the Arizona this weekend, they can maybe get inspiration or whatever or hype it up or something.
Yes.
All right. So all that's going to be on MajestixCCG.com. You can also check out sometimes the teams that are being ran before the event. If you check out, it's an Apex Insider. We will also be posting this on YouTube as long as the video works this time. We've had a couple of video issues. That's the only reason why it hasn't gotten posted.
As long as we see Steve's feet, it's fine. Put it on there.
Yeah, I have the other part recorded. So the whole part where you're getting ready, that's going to be the little sneak peek at the end, or the little Easter egg at the end.
Real quick, though. Who's better, Steve, you or Tony?
I am. Come on.
All right.
Not in the room, so I am. If he was in the room.
Dude. Oh, it's funny. No, that's cool. Yeah. To me, it goes back and forth depending on how they finish.
Hey,
because they're both really good.
Our big tournament results. Nationals. That's what matters, baby.
There you go. Oh, you got that over him, huh?
Yep.
Because now you both have an Open Series. And you won a bigger one, right?
Uh-oh.
That's the other thing. How big was Tony's event that he won?
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I just want to put a little fuel on the fire really quick, so that when you walk in the room, you have a little extra, just in case you didn't. If you
know why,
think about that.
Because he's been holding that over you for how many months since he won that. So anytime Steve would say something, he goes, "Oh yeah, but I gotta win, so whatever."
That's what it was. Yep.
That's what it was for like 2-3 months straight. So,
I have a question. How many days a week do you guys play?
They're playing right now. He's using his feet.
No, probably I mean, we always play on the Sundays at Comic-Con, but that's not practice.
Yeah.
That's a break. That's a break.
So I don't know. Right before an event, he'll always make me play like every day of the week, but he never once in the history of us playing in 3 years now or whatever, he's never once chosen a team for a major tournament prior to the night before. So we spent the entire day last Friday driving all over SoCal for him to pick up pieces that he never even ended up using. And then at Nationals, each time he makes I know my team from the get. And at Nationals, every single major tournament, we're up until 3 a.m. practicing, and then he finally resolves on a team. So we play a lot, but it's not even the best practice because he chooses his team.
That's interesting. That's an interesting. Observation there because you both have different approaches, but it's almost similar results. So there isn't only one way to do it because you go because I know you go in you probably don't bring anything extra. It's just your team, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm the same way, but then there's someone like Tony or Aaron. Aaron does this too, where he can't decide, and he just decides the day of or the night before. But if the results show, then I guess it doesn't matter.
For me, it's good when I know my team really well, and Tony's good when he's passionate about his team, And so, like, you don't really get that, like, oh, I really love this team until you've tried 50 different versions. And
yeah.
He does well because he, like, actually, like, has spent 50 nights, like, thinking about this, whereas I do well because I know my team back and forth.
Yeah.
So do you usually play the same? So when you're going to go into the event, do you throw other teams at him to give him, or do you just play the same team?
No. He gets to play, like, whatever the top, like, 8 teams are, I'll use each of them to, like, practice him. But it helps me too, because then it helps me figure out how it works, like what that team is going to do.
See, I need everyone at the fucking store to listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
Because all they do, this is what they do, and this is what frustrates the shit out of me. Let's say what you know the Quicksilver team, right? That you saw. Okay, and then you saw the Double Hulk team.
Yeah.
Okay, so they come and they come and test. Like, okay, it's testing. You know what they play? Only those 2 teams.
Right.
So every time I always have to tell them. So do you expect to play each other 5 rounds in a row?
Right. Exactly.
No. It's like, then why are you playing 3 games of the same matchup when you're going to be playing Quinjet, you're going to be playing Mystiques, you're going to be playing Unimind, and they just, like, it's so weird because it still sometimes doesn't register with them, and then we'll do it again the next day or the next week, and they come again to the same thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in fucking Groundhog Day because I'm telling them the same thing again.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's a great idea. Next week, same thing. So, that's kind of one of the things, like, and I told me exactly what you said. If you play different teams, you at least have an idea of how these other teams work so that when you play against them, you know what to do.
Right, exactly. So I played with one annoying guy. His name was Pat, where, like, he was bragging about how he knew every turn what I was going to do. He had a little notebook, and he's, like, writing down every little thing. And it was
What are you talking about?
And it was, like, super taunty, and, like, he's like, oh, I know what you're going to do next. I know.
Which team? Which one is this?
Dude, every time I've ever played you, Pat, you've done this.
Oh, it's because you talk a lot of shit. What do you think is going to happen?
You, like, stand tell me, oh, I know what you're going to do right now. I know what you're going to do. But, like, it's a genuine thing where, like, I played, like, prior to the Rock National, or the U.S. WizKids Nationals, I played, like, using every single one of the archetypes, so I knew every single game what the team's, like, primary function is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what, like, helped me do really well. Like, I only, like, lost to a double forge team, which I'd never thought of that, and it was really good. But, like, throughout that Nationals, every single game I knew exactly what that person was going to do with their team, so it helped me beat it. So it works a lot. Like, don't just play your team. You have to train the other teams, not just against them, but, like, I think it's good to play the other teams just so you know how they work.
It's so weird because that should already go without saying. But
that's not how people are.
Yeah, I know.
We're not all Pats. We can aspire to be Pats, but
you should be thankful. Because I wouldn't want to be playing against me if I'm like this. I'd be like, you motherfucker. And you know why? Because there ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It's all right. I mean, if you win the Invitational, then shit, dude. It's like mad respect, mad props. I mean, you already won this. I mean, that's the field was tough.
Yeah.
Fresno was a tough field. Like they had the best guys from all over.
Yeah.
And so you're able, and it's not like you played like, I mean, you had to play Tony, you had to play Alan, you had to play Rob. And Rob is like probably, I would say he's the best player at Bakersfield. No? I think so. He top 8s all the time. And
I've never seen him not top 8.
Yeah, he's always making it in. You have to go through a lot of these guys. So
yeah.
And his teams are always
different. I played I think 4 of the top 8 in the end, like Robert, Tony, Clixo, and the Box Hulks.
He didn't make it.
Okay.
Christian didn't make it in, but you played the
He was number 9 though, wasn't
King, so yeah.
But Christian finished 9th.
Okay.
By 38 points. So yeah, so you went through the field.
Like I was the top table, so I got to play like the best of that tournament.
Yeah, that's good. So, anything else?
No.
I'm good.
All set.
All right, Pat, send us off, buddy.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Steve. Obviously, all seriousness, man. I think you're one of the best players around here. Is Tony there right now?
He's not.
Okay, so you're better than him. I'm just kidding. Like I said, it goes however they finish. So, but no, Steve's definitely a threat. Like anytime he shows up at any event. So
especially for PJ.
I know, right? Jeez, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you won or made the top 4 of the thing, because you also I think you also play a lot more than a lot of the other people do. To be honest,
Yeah, I don't say that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but what's that?
That's embarrassing.
Why? You put in the time? It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it pays off.
Yeah, I guess.
Look at it that way. I mean,
how much money am I gonna win?
What's that?
How much money will I win when I win this?
Oh, I like that. It's 1,000.
There we go. Okay.
1,000, baby.
How much closer to a car? Maybe.
Right. I know. If you didn't spend that $15K on clicks, maybe you would have got one right now.
Right.
Fuck, look at that kitchen. Jesus.
God.
It's kitchen, dining room, everything. Okay. Well, anyway, again, this is, what is it, episode 5, right?
Something like that. I know we can't even count past 4 now. Is that how this is?
But yeah, thanks for coming on. And, it's too bad you can't make it to Arizona, but we'll see you at the Rock Cup or the U.S. Cup, and you're going to Rock Cup too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then maybe if Worlds, if I go, I'll see you there. But for sure, our invitational. So it should be fun, man. So do you have you want any shout outs? Want to say anything?
Nope.
Are you sure, man? I mean, PJ's probably listening. Come on.
I think he's already sent enough to PJ.
I like it, dude.
You're my favorite player.
Come on! Don't.
To beat? Is that what you said? Favorite player to beat?
I'm gonna stand.
The favorite player to beat. Okay, all right.
Is that what you said? Because that's how I'm editing it. Just so you know.
We'll take that. All right, we'll take that. With that being said, when in doubt, perplex the attack.